Hey guys, back with another X-Plane 11 video in VR using FlyInside XP in our Cessna 172 Skyhawk, and I've got a little plan here to go from Plymouth Municipal in Massachusetts to Boston. I want to show you the custom scenery from Mr. X for Boston International. You can get it on xplane.org, and I'll put the link in the description, but it's very cool. Daytime flight here. I'm using xflightplanner.net to do my flight planning now. You can see it's very easy to use. You can sign up for this, it's free. They do have silver and gold memberships. I'm just using the free membership. And I just basically entered my plan from KPYM to K Boston, a quick 30 nautical mile jaunt across Massachusetts. And I loaded it into my FMS plans folder. And if I go to my GPS 530, go to flight plan, and then just rotate this, I can just make sure I get this right. There it is. I've got my KPYM to Boston.fms, which I already entered in. And that's what we're going to do today. So let's get right on. I'm going to try to use the Autopilot a little bit today. I've been fiddling around with that. Here we are inside the cockpit, and we're ready to go. So let's give it a shot here. RPMs are up, and release the brake. Cessna always has a tendency to kind of pull to the left on takeoff, so you've got to rudder it out to the right. I use the CH Products joystick, and I just use the yoke to turn it a little bit to the right to keep it on track here. Approaching 90. Up and away. There we go. Beautiful. Nice takeoff, and we're going to bank left here to pick up our flight plan. Put this on GPS. Should just about do it right there. Alright, so let me get the bug set up here. We're going due north. It doesn't make sense to go 120. Get my bug set up. Get to about, let's go to about 2,500. Beautiful day in Massachusetts. Can't say enough about VR flying. I want to do it all the time. Got 27 nautical miles, about 18 minutes time to fly, so let's get ourselves situated here. Turn the autopilot on. Get the heading. Alright, so we should be good on the heading. I can turn that when I need to. Just want to get up to maybe this is probably good right here. Let's hold altitude right here. And we should just ease out and level right out here. Autopilot in Cessna works very nicely. Pretty simple, but it does work nicely. So now I can use the bug here to turn the plane. Get us on that purple line. And we're good. So we're going to, let's see what's our RPM. We're high on the RPM, so let me just bring back the throttle a little bit. And trim a little bit. The higher up we are, the thinner the air, so you don't want to trim it out a little bit. We're at about 2,500 RPM. That should be good. And we got 12 minutes, so it'll be a quick flight. Yeah, so Mr. X, check him out on xplane.org. He has a bunch of different custom sceneries that you can add to your X-Plane library. Makes it much more realistic. Some of the nighttime visuals are really awesome, actually. We're doing the daytime here. I just think the daytime shows up better on YouTube. It's hard to see some of the things at night. Now, just to let you know here while we're on autopilot, I can actually turn around here in the cockpit and look in the back seat. Hey, what's up? Nobody back there. But I can look back there and see what's going on. There's, I can see my tail. Pretty cool. Here's my straps. I can look around the whole cabin. It's neat. Now, the one thing I would like to have, and I haven't figured it out how to do it yet in FlyInside, is the ability to show you outside views of the plane. I can't seem to do that. It doesn't allow me to do that. So I'm going to have to try to figure that out. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. But I've been playing with it and just can't seem to get it to work. But you know what? I think FlyInside does a great job of giving you the VR cabin. I saw some comments about concerns about judder and that kind of thing, and I'm here to tell you that my system is an i7 6700 CPU, not a clockable CPU, and I've got a EVGA 1070 superclock graphics card, and it's basically running out of the box, all right? And I can tell you that things are absolutely smooth, and when I turn my head, it's like I'm in a real plane. I don't see any slicing or judder or anything. It's just a nice, easy, smooth transition as I move my head around the cabin. So that's my system. Now I'm using SSD as well, so I'm sure that helps quite a bit, actually. So, you know, that's just some information to take away. I think if you're using a graphics card that's powerful enough, and you have a solid CPU, you can tune it in VR to get really good frame rates and a good experience. It's really about the experience, right? I mean, I've tried Flight Simulator FSX with FlyInside, and I've been able to tweak it to get it where it's usable without any major judder or, you know, that kind of thing. It's not quite as good as X-Plane. It's just not. I mean, X-Plane just has a better experience overall. I think just from the software itself, but also the visuals are much better than Flight Simulator 10. Aerofly is kind of a different thing. It's got its own inherent VR. It doesn't have the same navigation and real-world feel of an X-Plane, but it certainly has a very good experience in the cockpit in VR, which is cool. But for what if you want, I'm just going to turn a little bit here. For me, I want the full experience. I want to be able to fly a small single-engine plane around a regional area and work into learning more about navigation and communication and that kind of thing. And that stuff's just not available for Aerofly. And for me, the X-Plane community, they're growing and growing, and there's so many different capabilities that people have added on. And it's just, I just think it's a great. I just did that by accident there. Don't need to see that. It'll fade away. See, I'm getting 33 frames per second, but 92 in VR. Just pull that up there again. As you can see, that FPS. So I'm getting 32 2D, 93 in VR. So what FlyInside is doing, I believe, and I'm not a gaming software engineer, they're basically reprojecting for VR up into the 90 frames per second range is what you need in order to make it a usable experience. As long as you're hitting 92, you're good to go. So we've got 7 more nautical miles. What I might do is I'll take it off autopilot, fly around Boston a little bit, and then we'll land. So yeah, I mean, it's really going to be system dependent. As you know, as these systems get more and more resource dependent, you're just going to have higher end graphics card to be able to use it properly. You know, you can't really expect to get the frame rates from a 970, you know, a GTX 970, which is what I used to have. What happened there? My autopilot's kind of whacking out here. Okay, there it goes. I think it's because I touched the okay, it's kind of mellowing out here. But I mean, I'm just looking at the dash. Now, you can't see this, but you're looking at it in 2D, but I see depth in every one of these gauges. It's as if there's a piece of glass in front of every one of these gauges. And the dial, the actual dial itself is behind the needle. So that's the experience that you get when you're in VR, which is really, really cool. All right, we're coming on 6 nautical miles. Can you see that? ETA, I'm sorry, 11 nautical miles, 6 minutes ETA. See, there's our GPS. And our nav1 is in sync, should be in sync with the runway that we're going to. Still learning this stuff, guys, so bear with me. Running at 2,500 RPM. Everything looking good on the gauges. I can see Boston there. So what I want to do is I want to take you to the west side of Boston. Show you a couple of things around the scenery. Now, the frame rates definitely slow down as you get into more scenery. That's just the nature of the way these simulators work. You know, right now we're looking at expansive, flat ground with very little detail. So it's going to be higher frame rates, which is the nature of things. But as we get closer to Boston, you can see it there in the distance. If you can't, I certainly can. As we get closer to that, you're going to I'll start to see maybe a little bit of slowing down of frame rates. All right, but when you turn your head in the cabin, things stay the same, which is what's important, or I should say, is important. Okay? So I'm really happy to see there's a lot of activity on the videos that I've been doing on X-Plane and VR. It's really kind of taken me into it, and I really enjoy it. It's one of the gaming experiences I've probably enjoyed most since I've built this gaming PC. But I do like the other simulators, like Train Simulator and American Truck Simulator. But you know, I was thinking about it last night. There's nothing like flying a plane for me in VR. Really, you know, getting the sense of being a pilot, you know, and having to, you know, take off and land and do the things that you need to do to be a safe pilot. Now, again, I'm not a pilot. I don't have a pilot's license. I'm a pilot wannabe. But it still gives me the experience in an environment where, you know, I actually have like a memory of now flying from Plymouth to Boston, because I'm doing it not in a 2D, but I'm doing it in something that's 3D, which is more immersive and more, I think, really leaves a higher imprint on you, if you know what I'm saying. Hard to explain, but if you try Flight Sim in VR, you'll know what I mean. It's pretty amazing. All right, so we've got 6 nautical miles. We'll be there in 3 minutes. I'm probably going to take this off autopilot now. Let me do that. Grab the plane back. I'm going to trim up here and throttle up. I'm going to show you Fenway Park. For you Red Sox fans, I'll show you Fenway Park, and then we'll take a look at some of the detail of the city of Boston, and then we'll land at Logan. The next thing I want to get into is air traffic control. Now, that's going to be an issue doing it with X-Plane's interface because you got to type stuff in. Now, in VR, that's basically impossible. You don't really have use of the keyboard in VR. So I've got to figure that out, how I'm going to do that. I'm not really ready to be part of any of the, I know that I think there's services that allow you to, to simulate ATC with voice communications. I'm just not ready for that. So I've got to work up to that. But that's my goal, to be able to really play do this in an environment where it's as realistic as possible. All right, we're at 1,500. I want to get down to 1,000. Now we should be heading right towards, if I'm not mistaken, Fenway Park. You can see Boston right there. Now I'm a Yankees fan, so I haven't seen Yankee Stadium yet in X-Plane. I'm not sure if it's there. I've been around New York a little bit flying, but I haven't seen that landmark yet. We'll see if it's there. I'm going to check that out at some point. But I don't believe there's a custom scenery for New York. That would be great if there was one. I'm going to check that out and see if there is one. All right, so I'm pretty sure that Fenway is at our 12 o'clock. 10 knots, 700 feet, stay right there. Yeah, there it is. I can see it coming up there on the 11 o'clock there. Try to get real close, get you a good view of Fenway. There's the Prudential building, the one behind there with the kind of weird top. That's the Prudential building. And there is Fenway. Slow the plane up a little bit so we can take a quick, slow cruise by it. Pardon me. There it is, Fenway Park. Pretty cool job on it. You know, if you look at the scoreboard from the other angle, there's actually stuff on the scoreboard. Take a look out the window here. And there's Fenway Park. Pretty cool. All right, so let's turn up. I think is this the Charles River? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the rivers of Boston. Setting. And there's Boston to the right. Pretty low here. We're at, let's get up to 500. See really nice detail in this custom scenery. Again, you can check out the link in the description and it'll show you where to get it. And it's on xplane.org. It has complete instructions on how to install it and all that, so pretty easy to do. And there you go. This bridge, I'm not sure the name of it, but I have been over it. It's one of those, it's an iconic bridge, a center structure, whatever it is, truss bridge, or whatever it's called. It's kind of like an iconic landmark in the Boston area. I think right there is where the Celtics play. We're going to go right through this bridge. Not too much traffic. Beautiful. Let's turn right here. Great detail, incredible detail, did a nice job. Mr. X, I think it's Mr. X6 is his name. But yeah, definitely check him out on xplane.org. He's got a bunch of different custom sceneries that you can load up. It does make it much more immersive to have that type of detail. It's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it's not completely smooth, but the frame rates are pretty damn good. Again, in the cabin, as I move my head, that's what's important. No complaints whatsoever. All right, so where's Logan? Logan's to my left, right over there. So I'm going to head out here. And we'll come in from the south. Taking a look at the runways there. Okay, I should be Boston Harbor. My runway, so let's make our left-hand turn here, line up, and land on the way to the long one. Flaps down, says 15. Second setting on the flaps. You can see the detail put in just the shipyards there. Look at that. Amazing. I don't believe that's on the standard scenery. It's awesome. There's the city of Boston right there at the right side, at the left window. Pretty amazing. All right, let's focus on what we have to do here. Yeah, I have these steep angles with the Cessna, so you can play this game a little bit. I got a lot of runway to work with, so. Not something you'd probably want to do in real life. But I'll be just okay. 90 knots. 80. 70. 65, 60, 50, nice, here we go, nice easy landing. Oh, that looked tough, that's alright. Okay, let's taxi over. We're on a runway here, that's not good, so let's get off this. Flaps up. Logan is a big airport. commercial runways, so I'm sure I should have been on a smaller one, but that's okay. Again, I'm just free flying. Let's just park it right over here. These guys are like, what the hell is this guy doing here? This little Cessna. Just give you a look at the airport itself. So fantastic detail. Great job, Mr. X. Get it on xplane.org, and again, I'll put the link in the description. That was a quick flight from Plymouth to Boston. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Bambito Games for more simulation fun. Thanks for watching, guys.